What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to be starting out my league season with. That's right, I'm returning to league, as you guys know. Starts in a couple weeks. I'm going to roll in with 5 balls each week. And disclaimer, this arsenal is not only subject to change, it's not only expected to change, it's guaranteed to change. But this is what I'm starting with. I'm just going to take you guys through kind of the framework and the thought process behind building an arsenal for league. And it's more or less the same kind of thought process as building one for tournaments, but I'm just going to take you through kind of what I got and, you know, let's get right into it. So first off, this is kind of my friction blender, because as you guys know, house shots, they typically hook a lot to the right and they'll hopefully hold to the left. If they don't, then it's typically a little more of a challenging house shot. But Origin EX, very smooth transitioning ball, so there's that control off the friction that I'm looking for. But the nice thing about this, why I chose this as opposed to like Ion Max or RST Hyperdrive, is because it's got a weaker cover. So it's still going to flow through the front part of the lanes. It is going to be a travel league, so we are actually bowling here for a quarter of it, and then 2 other bowling centers. So that's another reason why the arsenal is expected to change. I got to cater them to each bowling center, but this is what I'm going to start out with. These 5 here. I think this one is probably the least expected to be thrown, but I would be remiss if I didn't have a ball that was too smooth, because there's nothing more uncomfortable than bowling and none of your balls are slowing down. So, I don't know, I'm just going to throw these and show them to you guys. I'm just bowling a house shot for once. Laid out a house shot, because this is a league video. There we go. Super smooth. It's a starting point for me, all right? So that's something you're gonna want anything that you bowl, whether it's league, tournaments, whatever it is, you're gonna want a ball that's kind of your starting point there. Not gonna really use the benchmark word for that, but you wanna have something at the top that is smooth enough, that transitions slow enough. Typically why people have urethane when they bowl sport shots, it's something that's controllable, it controls the friction. House shot, not really expecting to throw a urethane ball. So Origin EX is kind of in that place because it is usable. As you can see, standing left of 30, got it like just right of 20, and you know, pretty hookable. It is HP, as you guys know, high friction lanes. HP, high pH friction, high friction lanes. Start again for you guys. Why not? I mean, it's pretty much what I'm looking for. Hyperdrive, Ion Max won't last quite as long because they're gonna read the front part of the lane so much sooner, just because the cover stock is so much stronger. This one's also drilled pin down. This is my 4 by 5.5 by 3 7/8, my typical pin down layout. So my pins are typically gonna get a little bit stronger when I'm bowling league, and it is, again, to try and blend out and control the friction, because if I go to my like cleaner, weaker balls, which I'm gonna get into a little bit later in this video, and I use like my quote unquote tour layouts where they're like 5, 5 1/4. They're gonna be so responsive off the friction that they're gonna force me to the left, and then that's where you really get into the cliff. So the objective for me when I'm bowling league is to try and stay as far right as possible, because there's built-in shape. That's why a lot of league bowlers, they play between 2nd and 3rd arrow, and they throw it out to like 7. That's where the shape is. So unless I throw it really hard, I'm not gonna get in that spot. But I need to get as close to that as possible to make the 3 games of league that night last. Because I have subbed quite a bit, and a lot of times I do start with 550, 560 the first 2, and then I shoot like 210 the last game. So don't want to do that. But that is the top of the bag there, the Origin EX. And then from there I would have 2 ways to ball down. I'm going to show you one way. So this is the other smoother option, other kind of first ball out of the bag option. Actually, any of these could be the first ball out of the bag because it is a house shot. But the next smoother option, Cove. This one may be the most likely one to change early, because it's actually not as smooth as I thought it was going to be. It works in a lot of ways that I don't think it's going to, as in it's a lot more hookable than I thought it would be, especially with a 3.5 inch pin on it. If you guys have watched the video, it's a 3.5 inch pin in the ring. So I didn't expect it to shape super well, but it does. But this would be another ball I'd be looking into to blend out the friction. But I'm gonna move 3 left off the Origin. Pretty donkey of a shot there from me, but this one, for all you other people, all you viewers, sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. This is like where your Phase 2, Rockstar, those kind of balls would be. Those ones, again, covers just being too strong, and those balls have a little bit more diff. I don't really feel like I'm going to want those. Rockstar might come in, the pin down one, depending where I go in the travel league, but for now, the Cove, with it being 2-part pearl, 1-part solid, and I think the cover should be weaker than Phase 2 Rockstar. Again, just looking for a ball that I don't have to force through the front part of the lane. Another ball I don't really expect to throw a whole lot, but again, I would be remiss if I didn't have a ball that's slowed down enough. So we got 2 nice slower options there. I don't want to shoot at this 710. J-Rag, what are you throwing in league?
XL, 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 mix.
Sure. Throw another one here for you. Hopefully it gets to the right. Also going to move a little bit left just to influence that shot to go to the right. There we go. So that is the reason why that ball will likely not be thrown a lot during league, especially at this house. Maybe at one of the other 2 houses, but just picking up a little bit too early. And this one's kind of like in the middle of the Origin EX and the rest of the bag, to where it's earlier because it has surface on it and it's part solid. So you can see there it picked up early, but unlike the EX, which is ASIM, it didn't blend it off. It hit the friction early and just kept going, and it's gotten me 12 pins in 2 shots. So we're gonna have it in the bag. Again, like I said, a ball like Rockstar Phase 2 kind of fits in that category. If you're taking notes on the framework of my arsenal, that is the one that people call the benchmark ball. I, again, hate using that term because it doesn't really mean anything. But I feel like a lot of people relate it to like the middle of the bag, maybe first ball out of the bag. It's typically a ball that has a lot of surface on it, is a little bit smoother. Cove, benchmark ball. Now we'll go to the other ball down, which is gonna make a whole lot more sense than the Cove. Our good friend, the Gremlin. Cue me with a re-rack. What a guy, thank you. But as you guys know, 5x5x3 Gremlin. This is a very clean cover, that VR1 cover stock. It's nano free, so I'm gonna have no trouble getting this to the front part of the lane. And with the big weight block, 58 diff in here, it's gonna blend out the friction. It's gonna do that asymmetry thing. The only thing you worry about with a ball with a weight block like this is it getting too forward on the back end. But this is something I'd be more inclined to throw on a house shot just because it's cleaner. This is one I hopefully get to throw a lot. So I am not far enough left. You can see there, that was actually like 1 or 2 further left from the Cove, but it got way further down the lane. For some reason, I just don't want to throw it to the right. We did film 2 other videos bowling on 43 feet, so that could be contributing why, but that is more of a shape that I feel like is gonna last for a long time. Cove, as you guys just saw, got an average of 6 on the first ball. Origin EX would probably look good for about a game. And then once I hit a certain point moving left, it's just gonna bog and it's never gonna strike. So I can either be very proactive with my ball changes and start with the Origin EX and then, you know, get the front 6, 7 out of it. And then once it 10 pins for the first time, just ball change out of it, which I have been known to do. Or I would just do it with the Gremlin off the rip. At this center, I definitely could do it with the Gremlin off the rip because of the softer lane surface. But who doesn't like watching the Gremlin? Again, this is also lane 13. As you guys know, it's lane hooks. Just your patented, typical Gremlin shape that you guys have come to know and love, right there. We say it all the time on the channel, that Pearl ASIM action is really kind of what most league bowlers are looking for. Gremlin is a great option. We've got a lot more great options out there. Equinox, Attention Star, things like that. So Gremlin, I expect to be in the bag for a very long time. But now we're gonna move on to when that ball starts getting a little bit too forward on us. Can we call it the hottest ball in the market?
What's that? Ember?
It's called the Ember. That's the only reason why I'm going to call it the hottest ball in the market. This is the big boom ball, right? So when the Gremlin starts to go a little bit too forward, hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully the Gremlin just lasts 3 games. But if it doesn't, we hit a little pair that hooking a little too early, we got options. So my main objective when bowling league, I want to have an option that is very smooth, that is going to slow down properly, and I want to have an option that is going to get down the lane every time. So we'll get there. We're getting that bottom of the bag here. But the Ember 4.5 by 3 buffer, this one's going to truck down lane. So this is one, even though it's a ball down, I expect it to hook more down lane. It's kind of a misconception that a lot of people have. So I'm going to move left off the Gremlin, and it should make it back. Yeah, made it back and then some. It's just a result of energy retention. If you guys are longtime viewers of the channel, you guys should already have that down, right? It's a weaker ball. We got friction out there, so the weaker ball's gonna hook. Yeah, so the Ember just not quite blending the friction as well as the Gremlin because it only has 44 diff as opposed to 58 and no ASIM. Again, this one will just be better for if I need the stand very far left, throw it very far to the right, it'll come back. Gremlin, a little bit more of a control piece just because it has all that diff. But I'm going to, I forgot where I stood, but this is definitely further left than where I stood, for sure. As you can see though, this ball, kind of like the Cove, lands in between. The ball's above it and the ball's below it. It's obviously statistically a weaker ball than the Gremlin. But it's forcing me further left because it's responding to the friction so fast. And my next option, which is the good old Typhoon, is gonna let me come back to the right because it is so much cleaner and it is a lot smoother. And I'm just gonna show you guys. So Typhoon, the reactor cover, Atmos Core, house shot special for me. This and the Gremlin are the two that I foresee throwing a lot. I also might drill one of these pinned down, especially for this house, just to really make sure I have a ball that's clean enough for me to stay what I'll call within the lane, because that Ember definitely got me out of the lane. But this is, I think, where I stood with the Gremlin. And that's just a much more controllable shape, a lot rounder. Ember, definitely feel like I have to throw it to a spot, and even then, the 2 shots I threw with it where I moved even further left, still didn't want to get to that spot. It's all about just having different options, right? You don't want to overlap because then what's the point? You're just wasting your effort walking into the bowling center with 2 balls that are going to do the same thing, right? But in some shape, one or another, there's going to be a Typhoon in this bag. This is the 4x4x2 one, so pretty much as strong as I could make it, and that really helps me smooth it out. But the pin down one would get it to go down the lane even further. So for here, this house, I might double up on the Typhoons actually. There we go. I fully expected you to just walk back out here with the Tropical, but there he goes. Well, that's the thing with the up Typhoon there. What did I move? Like 3 boards to the left, got to the spot, and it barely made it back. I think that's just the ball flaring a little bit too much, so a pin down one would let me stay just a touch further right and a little bit more direct. The idea is not to get too far away from the friction. And if it were up to Jalen, you guys have seen this one, the Tropical Surge would be the bottom of the bottom. This will be the cleanest of them all. And honestly, I'm gonna stay in the same spot where I just threw that Typhoon, and it's probably gonna run the 8-pin over, just because of energy retention. Just kidding, no, it didn't. That's one reason why I don't dabble too far down into the Tropicals, is because they do get a little skittish when they see oil. Big difference between the Typhoon and the Tropical right there. We'll give them one more. Hit me with a rack, we'll give them one more. He didn't hear me. I got it.
What do you got?
All right, so back to the right, I guess. A lot cleaner than Typhoon, but that is it, guys. That is the general framework of which I am going to be, traveling with my arsenal. There are going to be balls that slot in and out of that, but those kind of 5 balls are the ones that I'm going to have with me all season. 32 weeks. It's a long league season. Bowling with my wife, so hopefully we don't kill each other. Big ball at the top, make sure I have something that's slow enough that is going to control the friction. Again, that Origin EX really allowed me to stay within the confines of the dots, which is nice. I don't really love being, super far left. Just doesn't do anything good for the lane. And then your two different options down from there, you got your quote unquote benchmark ball, Rockstar, Phase 2, Cove ball right over here. Then on this side, you got your Pearl ASIM, which is the other kind of ball down from your solid ASIM. Gremlin, Attention Star, Equinox, those kind of balls. They both are ball downs in two different ways. One way you do it with more with weight block, the other way you do it with the cover stock. For the purpose of house shots, a lot of times it's gonna be the cleaner cover stock with the bigger weight block, just to give you that clean and then mid-lane rolly control kind of ball motion. And then from there, if things get a little extreme, you get into the super clean balls. Ember, honestly not a super clean ball, but Typhoon and then Tropical are down there. You just want to have your bases filled at the top and the bottom, and then you fill the middle kind of with shapes that you like. And then there you should have your bases filled. But if I don't shoot 800 the first week, one or all of these are definitely going to change. That is it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed just watching J-Rag sit back there. He is in the league as well, if you guys don't know. So if you guys are in the Columbus area, Tuesday nights, 7:30, we're bowling league. Come find us. It's a travel league, so you're gonna have to do a little bit of research to figure out where we are when. But if you guys like the jersey, efx.co, link is down in the description below. Use code MITA for 10% off at checkout. Helps me. All of these balls, all 6 of them, as well as that Extra Plus glove, as well as this Storm wrist liner here, available on tvbowlingsupply.com or in store right there, or at Holiday, or at Victory. You can get all these products. If you guys like this kind of video, if you guys want me to update this like halfway through the season to see how it went and how things have changed, because this is the first time I'm gonna be a league bowl in a long, long time, let me know down in the comments below if you want an update. You want a quarterly update, halfway update, things like that. I'll be more than happy to do that for you. But that's it, guys, for today. I'll see you guys in the next one.